Okay, so I am super excited to talk to you guys today. Micah asked me to talk on what I've done this month to blow up my business versus every other month. And so I'm going to just kind of tell you how it happened and what I've done so you guys can make a game plan and implement it. Honestly, there is no secret. It really is just do your crap, okay? So this isn't like complicated. It really is. Sorry, it's like bedtime, so it's chaos at my house, but whatevs. Okay, it's not complicated. It really is just 10xing the normal daily activities as well as implementing the things that we don't like to do. Everybody knows that I hate invites. I always have. It's something I didn't do because I'm big on attraction marketing and I would rather be vulnerable and have people coming to me than inviting. But we all know that you grow immensely when you get out of your comfort zone. So what happened to me this month is I joined a Josh Coates training. It was a little bit more exclusive than just like the 1 week year group that he was doing. But I had to invest in it, which I knew that right there was going to push me more. And honestly, falling short of my goals last year, it pisses me off and it fires me up. So instead of using like defeat or discouragement or failure as something to like, I quit, I was like, hey, I'm going to make this happen this year. Like, bring it. I am done. Okay. So I joined his training and we had to like give our goals and like success club goals each month and coach recruiting goals and where we wanted to be financially at the end of the year and rank and all of that. And as we're going through and talking, sorry, I have like a ring light and it's like wigging out, whatever. Okay. So as we're going through and talking, like my goals were not nearly big enough. I normally get between like Success Club 10 and 20. That's pretty average. But he wanted me to do 40. And I was like, okay, gonna die. And 10 for my husband. And it's funny because to do his groups, I had to do the, power hour, but upped the numbers. So I had to do invites to challenge groups. I had to do Hey Girl messages. And I also have to do invites to coaching every single day. And that scared the living daylights out of me. And then I also upped my number of comments and interactions, the relationship building part, the likes and comments and all of that on Facebook. And I upped it to 50. Okay, 50 a day instead of 5 to 10 like I was doing. I upped it to 50 because you want more eyes on your stuff. If you're talking to the same people over and over again, that's when you get annoying and that's when your business will stall. You have to continually be adding to your network and building those new relationships every single day. So when I was forced to do invites, it made me really, really, really game plan my month, okay? I had to take things seriously. So we just moved. We're starting to get into a routine. And so I set aside time every single day that I am going to work my business. So that's my first tip. Set a time and stick to it. Set timers, set whatever you need to stay on point and on track with doing your power hour. But set a time that you're actually working. So I set aside about 2 to 3 hours in the morning, every morning, okay? It's not taking all day to do what I'm doing. 2 to 3 hours of solid working on top of the normal business activity that I was doing. I have to implement 30 minutes of business development. So that could be reading a business development book. I've been using that time to do things I've been wanting to do, but I've been too lazy to do to help my team. So making certain Google Drives or Google Docs or certain graphics and stuff like that, like page training, Instagram training. So that's forced me to actually designate more time to my business, which has been fabulous. So including that business training and my personal development with my power hour, it takes about 2 to 3 hours a day. So the morning I'm working, and then after the kids go to bed, that's when this business kind of picks up for me at least. So a lot of people are messaging then. And so after the kids go to bed, my husband's on swing shift, I designate more time after they're in bed to check in and finalize more things that way. Okay, so that's my daily schedule. Now that I had to do invites, it made me actually plan out my month instead of just willy-nilly, I'm going to start a challenge group this day. Oh, I should do a free group because I have no interaction. Oh, I kind of feel like I need to do a sneak peek in coaching. Let's do it this week. Like, I really became strategic with how I planned out my month, and I've actually planned out my entire year. And let's see, I'll show you kind of, I don't know that you'll be able to see very well. Hi, Penny, you going to bed? Okay, good night. Sorry, just a sec. Okay, so this was from the dollar section at Target. Really handy. The reason I got this was so that I could keep it in my purse at all times. Like, you know, that's my biggest thing right now is if I'm not with my phone and someone messages me and I'm out running errands, like I need somewhere to write something. And so instead of just the calendar, it also has like each individual day, so I can write people's names from when they purchase their challenge packs to remind them about their Shakeology and all that, which would be nice. But what I did is I went through and I planned out my entire year, and so I'm going to show you how I mark it for my year. You don't have to copy this. Obviously find something that jives and works with you, but I'm going to tell you why I planned mine this way and how it made it easy for me to invite, okay? Because you know I hate inviting, but if I have something to invite to, I can invite all day long. So this gives it a way for me to invite throughout the month too without making it feel gross and like I'm like grasping at straws and randomly messaging people. I don't like that. I will build relationships all day long, but I'm not going to randomly message people out of nowhere unless A, they've expressed interest, or B, I have like this really strong feeling like, dude, you need to talk to her. I'm not just going to randomly spam people though. So what I do, this will probably be backwards. Maybe not. Ooh, maybe it's not. Okay, so I will have a challenge group that starts on the first Monday of every single month. That's what CG stands for. I then have a sneak peek on the first full week of the month, that Thursday, so the Thursday after the challenge group starts. I then have a free group that starts the next Friday because I do prep week on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. See if I can manage this. Am I doing that right? And then the free group will go Monday through Friday of them actually doing like the workouts and meal plan and stuff. And then I have a webinar on the last Thursday of the month is what I'm normally going to do it. This month, oh goodness, I'm sorry. So this month, it's kind of thrown off because I threw up the webinar really fast. But each month I will be doing a webinar, providing value in some area. On Tuesday, I'm doing one on marriage because I really feel like that's part of my brand and all of that. So I'm really focusing on marriage. And it's going to be an invite to a challenge group at the end with, we're going to be reading His Needs, Her Needs. So that's what I'm focusing on is our story, and then giving them our tips of what we did to help build our relationship back up, and then also inviting them to a challenge group where we'll be focusing specifically on the book His Needs, Her Needs, as well as taking care of ourselves. So each month I'll do a webinar. The topics may change. It's basically you want to add a whole ton of value, and you want to be able to invite them to either coaching or challenge group, okay? And the reason you want to do a webinar, I do it from my like page. You want to do it as an event because it's another way to reach your cold market, and they have to respond to come to your event so that you know who's interested, okay? It's another way to find out who is watching and to build your cold market. So the last Thursday of the month, I do the webinar, and then and then that's my month as far as like strategizing when things are starting. But let me tell you how I was doing my invites because these all correlate with this. So the first Monday is the challenge group, right? It starts on the first Monday. Well, my last webinar will be like a week and a half normally before the group starts. And I'm going to be advertising about that challenge group from the webinar and also talking about it on my page. And so I'll generate interest for the challenge group from my webinar, and I'll be able to invite people to my challenge group that's starting here. Once my challenge group starts, I'm then inviting people on my wall. I'll do posts about my sneak peek into coaching, as well as following up with anybody in the past who has been interested or current challengers. And then after the sneak peek, I'm going to start talking about my webinar. So you want to go about 2 weeks in advance talking about your webinar, just planting seeds. It does not need to be a call to action. Okay, so I'll talk about the webinar, and then right here, I'm going to start talking about my free group all week. I'll talk about it on my page. I'm also going and personally inviting those who were interested in the challenge group but never actually got in. I always use voice text for invites. That's the easiest for me. I can even make one. Oh dear, the coloring's really weird. Okay, I can make even a generic message, but it sounds authentic like me. It's me talking, and I can then copy and paste that to people who are interested. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to personally invite to my free group everybody who is interested in the challenge group, at least 3 a day. That should be pretty easy if you're talking a shiz ton about your challenge group and you did an effective webinar. You should be able to find 3 people from here that did not jump on to invite them to your free group. You will also have people from your posts interested in your free group. So that should take care of all week invites, is inviting to your free group. And I invite the entire week through the weekend because it's just prep days. That's pretty simple. And then this next week, I'm going to be talking about the webinar again and inviting people to my webinar. Okay, so do you see how my invites kind of flow? And then after the invite to the webinar, after I've done the webinar, I'm now inviting to the real challenge group on my page. Anybody who is in my free group, I'm now inviting them to the real challenge group. So I'm rolling people over. This is like really weird lighting, whatever. I'm rolling people over from one thing to the next so that it makes it easy and it flows, okay? My invites have blown up this month, and I want you to know a couple things about personal invites. They don't need to be yucky. They don't need to be salesy. They don't need to be gross. Market strategically so that people are interested and have something to invite those people to, so it makes it easy to do invites. And just be real and genuine. And honestly, mostly everybody has been super receptive. So especially for the challenge group, people who didn't buy for the challenge group, when I went and invited them to the free group, they were stoked, okay? So people want to be invited to things. And then something else I've learned about inviting to coaching. I was always so scared, I don't know why, to invite to coaching from my challenge group. So I would just go do like a generic post in the group, which was dumb because it's not personal. And instead of doing that now, oh, I forgot to mention that. After my current challenge group has started for a week, this next week, I am inviting current challengers. Even though they've only done it for a week, a lot of them are feeling amazing. They're checking in every day. And so I'm inviting them to coaching, and I just invite them back to the sneak peek that's already pre-recorded, okay? So something I've learned from doing that, when I personally invite people to coaching, all of them, not joking, have said, I have thought about coaching. And they usually have some sort of reason why they think they couldn't do it. And hello, it's all the normal fears that we all had before we started. So when I personally invite them, I can calm those fears by talking to them, but I never would have known that by not inviting them. So I invite them personally, and I can calm those fears down and invite them to watch the sneak peek. They go and watch it. Some jump on right immediately. Others are like, I'm still kind of nervous. And I keep just building that relationship, keep interacting in the challenge group, all of that, okay? In my challenge groups, I do the daily check-in. And the purpose of that is I want them getting used to coming in every single day and checking in whether they had a perfect day or not, because it's about consistency and motivation. And when they do that, it keeps them more accountable. It also is a good way for me to judge who would be a good coach. So when they've checked in every single day of the week, those are the people I'm specifically targeting, like, dude, you would rock it as a coach because you're doing everything we do anyway. You're supporting others in the group, which most of them are. If they are posting every day, when we do that daily check-in, they start interacting with each other and complimenting each other and supporting each other. And so I'm able to say, dude, you check in every single day, you're being a product of the product, and you're supporting others. That's what we do as coaches. And then they give their little scared fear thing, and I calm that down and say, just go watch the webinar or the sneak peek that I did. I'll tag you in the video. And they watch it, and then a lot of times they're like, okay, I got this. So that is honestly all I am doing. I am consistently doing my work. I set aside time every single day. I have a specific calendar so I know what I'm marketing to, so that I can do my invites, so that I know how to market my posts. Everything becomes way more strategic and it flows. So I'm not grasping at straws and randomly doing invites and freaking out last day of the month. I'm strategically placing things to make it easy on myself. And honestly, the webinar I do on the last Thursday so that I can carry that over and have Success Club like nailed down immediately the first few days of the month. And then I can focus on everything else that I'm wanting to do. Okay, I hope that helps you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Basically, 10x the shiz out of everything. If you want to blow up your business, 10x it. 10x doesn't mean it's going to take 10 times as long. Just become efficient, set aside a schedule, stick to it, and I promise you, it will blow up your biz. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. See ya.